Our next category is the onboarding experience. We search developer portals that clearly show what their APIs are about, how they work, how developers can start integrating, and where they can find resources. According to the jury, onboarding is about how much users can learn about the API before they need to commit to it. You see a long list of nominated portals.
A lot of people.
And many people who have worked on those portals. Who are the finalists? TomTom and Mercedes-Benz developer portals. The jury pointed out that TomTom's value proposition and use cases were very clear. The tutorials were very easy to follow, even without an account. This made it easy to evaluate the product's functionality and implementation before taking the next step to sign up and start coding. Mercedes-Benz, the second finalist, makes it easy to evaluate and experiment with the product, and even make the OAuth authorization process easy to understand. Tutorials offer testing in a sandbox, using your own car's data, and deploying to a production environment. Furthermore, the case studies tie directly back to the API. Who is the winner?
The winner is... Let's go a bit slower.
We're going to take a commercial break here.
The winner is Mercedes-Benz developers for the onboarding category. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So, Manuel? Hi, Manuel.
Great to be back, I guess.
Yeah, congratulations. So, onboarding. How? I think I've realized sitting in some workshops with customers that there's sometimes audiences that you just don't even realize that you have. So I'm really curious to hear a little bit more about how you're doing this. Like, how are you keeping your main audiences in mind, also through the onboarding? So are there any tricks that you're doing? Do you maybe use techniques or something that people can learn from you?
Actually, in this year, we put a lot of effort in the onboarding area. I mean, we were also nominated last year, but didn't win. So we tried to improve on that. Actually, we worked our whole landing page. So there are now, for example, dedicated target group pages. So that's what we heard in the beginning. So we have a business target group page and developer target group page. And I think the onboarding starts there. So the user tries to identify which kind of persona he is. And then, for example, goes to the developer page and gets more like sample code and easy tryout functionalities to test it directly. For example, you can copy the code in terminal and boom, you got your response from the API. And on the other hand, we also wanted to address the business users so that they get to know what actually is an API maybe and how does it work? How can I benefit from an API? Because we were talking about API as a product. It's not just a technical thing, right? And I guess it starts there along with the tryout abilities for developers in the Swagger UI where you can directly try it out. And we also created a simulator. So we deal a lot with car data, and we developed a car simulation environment where the developers can easily start with the API, even if they would not have a Mercedes-Benz vehicle standing at their location, for example. And also the product pages, for example, we restructured them. So we now have an overview page, which is like really high level, describing what do I get from this API, what data points do I get, but not like in a technical way, but in a way that business users understand, but also is interesting for the developers because you have to balance, right? You do not want to overload developers with marketing stuff. And and then the developer can go deeper. So he has a detailed page, he has a documentation page if he wants to. I think we try to bring all this together to create a user journey and guide the user from the landing page to the product itself to try the product out as easy as possible.
One of the things I've learned from some of the research that Professor Meng from Merseburg University does is that sometimes like you might have a very advanced developer that needs very little information. Please, don't bother me. Just give me the stuff. And then you might have a very like a beginner developer that needs a lot more background. How do you play that balance out in your documentation?
I guess the tryout functionality is really important for beginners who just want to see quickly what do I get, how does it work, and then experience how it technically works in the background. But for me personally, it was always important to just be able to try the product as fast as possible and then go into the details how it actually works and how I can integrate it in my environment. So that's why we did put so much effort in the tryout abilities. But still, I don't think we are there yet. We are also experimenting with automatically generating SDKs. So, for example, if I'm an iOS developer, I want to use the API, but I don't want to care about OAuth flows and integrating that on my own, right? So we're currently experimenting with that and hopefully be able to offer also SDKs for the individual different developing languages in the future. So I still think that we have to do some work on that area.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.